When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air? Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked! Lord! Oh! Lord! There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting started! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Hosted by Buster H.R. Johnson. This is a Buster H.R. exclusive. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. You are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Buster Unmasked!
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked. It's a Thursday afternoon. We got a great show for you guys. I've been anxious to talk to this young man right here. I feel like I've almost watched him grow up in the wrestling business. Before we get to our guest, April 12th, 2026, KAW returns. So let me push this teaser a little bit, and then we'll get this show underway.
Buckle up and hold on tight. What was old will be new again. What was established in 1998 will be re-established in 2026. No substitutes, no cheap imitations. The most feared 3 letters in professional wrestling. KAW, Kick-Ass Wrestling, returns to claim the crown. Let the chaos begin. Outlaws never die.
All right, y'all, get ready. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's April 12th, 2026. You do not want to miss it. And this Saturday, get ready, because I'm going to drop another flyer that's going to tell you the ticket prices, all the info. Plus, it's going to be attached to the brand new KAW theme song. You do not want to miss it. Keep a lookout. I'll drop it Saturday morning early, and check it out. It's going to be off the charts. Kick-Ass Wrestling is up for a big return, and we're going to bring all the chaos as usual. But tonight, it's all about my guest here tonight. Like I said, I feel like I've almost watched this young man grow up in the wrestling business. I probably met this young man the first time in 2020. He was just a kid. I'm going to say that. Just a kid, man. I met him in New Bern, Tennessee, EIW. Man, he would do whatever he had to do. Man, when I first met him, he was setting up chairs, sweeping floors, helping with the ring, whatever he had to do to get in the ring and get a little training, man. One of the hardest working young men that I've seen in a long time in this business. He is steadily evolving. He is without a doubt the hottest youngin in the game. And as always, he is standing on business. I bring to you none other than Jabari Young. Jabari.
Yo.
What is up, my man?
What's up?
I don't know it. So look, we got a lot to talk about, but let's start with the name. We all know you here around West Tennessee as JT Williams. And like I said, man, I first laid eyes on you in 2020. How old are you now, JT? Or excuse me, I knew that was gonna happen. So you gotta bear with me. Jabari, how old are you right now, man?
I'm 18 years old right now.
Man, so we're talking 6 years. Literally, I met you you was roughly 12 years old, man. You were
Yeah.
already in the ring, doing whatever you could around the arena, helping out, chairs, cleaning up, whatever it was to get a little ring time and get a little training, man. So before we even get into that, how did we go from JT to Jabari Young, man?
Well, some story behind that is I took a trip down to EPW. I want to say this was like a couple, weeks ago, maybe a month here, to give or take or whatever. And I was down there just talking to, Neil or whatever, just, trying to see like what could I do to better my game and better myself and evolve and take the next step in the professional wrestling world or whatever. And he just put it to me blunt and straight. He was like, get a name change. He's like, switch everything up about yourself. He was like, what people once knew you as, give them something new. And when he told me that, I ain't gonna lie to you. At first, I wasn't on board with it, like, at all. I didn't want to change my name or nothing because, like you said, everybody knew me as JT Williams. Like
That's right. Me and
everybody.
you, right before we went on the air, me and Jabari were chatting a little bit, and everybody around this area, especially West Tennessee, they watched you grow up. They know you as JT Williams. So I fully feel where you're coming from about the name change. So pick it back up, dude.
Yeah, and when he had told me that, and I wasn't like on board with the idea because I was like, JT is like, it's something that I came, especially with my last name, like Williams. That has so much meaning to me in itself. Like, I wanted to be able to, take that name to like great heights. I wanted to be the first person out of my family to say, hey, I made it with the last name Williams. But like, as I started talking, I hit up, big bro Aaron and, Zay. They're like my mentors, big brothers. Those are people that I look up to. So, and I started talking to them about it, just trying to get some extra feedback. And basically, they told me the same thing. They gave me the same fight. They was like, do you want to be like one of the boys, one of the guys, or do you want to like just be there by yourself, like get to the top and just be one of those superstars and stuff like that. And that got me thinking, and I was like, yeah, I really want to be in that main position, and I want like promoters to be able to believe in me to carry on their company and take their titles and stuff like that to like greater heights or whatever. So I did what I would assume that any other professional wrestler would have done. I wrote down 10 first names, 10 last names, and like,
Played
I ain't
mixing
gonna
match,
lie.
huh?
Yeah, yeah. But the one name that did stick out to me was Jabari Young. And I was like, let's see. Because at first, I was just like you. I didn't like it at first. I didn't, but I was like, might as well go with it. Like, just see where it goes.
Yeah, man. When I first heard it, first thing I thought was, man, he's changing his name. And look, around here for us, all this time you've been JT. We've watched you kind of grow up in this business and evolve and go from helping to get ring time, helping do whatever to get ring time, to literally being one of the brightest stars coming up in our area today. There's no doubt about that, man. I feel like everybody who sees you, there's comment after comment. Sosa's on here. Iceman Sosa, he says Jabari is the future of the Mid-South for sure. Walker Hayes,
Yeah.
Walker 13. Jabari is my GOAT. And I don't think it's a secret about how good you really are. I've told you this. I don't think you realize how good you actually are at times. But man, when I first heard the name change, I thought, man, and I didn't really like it at first. And then I saw you cut a promo. and I kind of started getting a little feel for Jabari. And then I kept seeing it because you changed everything. I mean, even your Facebook went from JT to Jabari. So now I'm seeing that every post, I'm seeing that name. And dude, it took me a few minutes, but once I kind of got it, I think I love it, man. I think here's the thing. It gives you an identity now, and it gives you a platform to build off of, a brand.
Yeah. Because it was like one of those things where I felt like if I didn't go ahead and start making the changes, like what was the whole point in even having an idea out there? Like, cause I knew, and going into the whole name change and stuff, I knew people were, some people weren't gonna be behind it, some people were, like, but at the end of the day, it was really up to what I wanted to do. Like, I feel like in order for people to really start noticing me, and in order for me to like have that confidence to be able to take myself to the next level and to be able to be even more confident in my abilities, I had to change. Like, evolve was needed badly, and I'm just glad it came right now.
Well, you said you kind of played mix and match with the first names and last names, and you said Jabari stuck out to you. What was it about Jabari that kind of got you, man? What was it that kept you going back to that one over the rest of them?
To me, if I'm being like so honest, I don't really know. It was just one of them things that like it just popped. Like, I can't like give a specific reason of like why it stuck out. It's just like one of those things that popped to me. Like, I kept going down the list and I always found myself coming back to that. So I
Right.
was like, there's got to be some reason why my attention keeps going back to that. I don't know it now, but maybe down off in the future somehow, figure that out and find out the reason. But it just like my attention just kept going back to Jabari. I don't know why. It just caught my attention.
So take me to the first live show you did as Jabari. How did it feel for you? Because I'm assuming you were at somewhere that you had already been and they knew you already as JT. And I've been in that situation and know what it's like for you to go to a place where people know you as one thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're something totally different, new name, whatever. How was that first experience, man?
Okay, so funny story. Cause like when I first got the name change, how I'm like you. If you ever like just around me personally, people will tell you I'm a very forgetful person, or I can be very clumsy sometimes. I forgot that like I changed my name at one point in time. I kid you not, I was standing in the middle of the ring. I was a heel. So I'm just talking my stuff, to the crowd, getting my heat or whatever. And the announcer, I think it was Cornbread. I was down at MCW. He was like, Jabari Young. And I stopped everything I was doing. I was like, who is that? Like,
You looking for a new guy coming out the dressing room?
yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, who finna come? And then I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, oh my goodness. But it was weird at first because like I'm one used to nobody calling me that shit. And so the first time I actually heard it, I was like, who was that? And then I was like, oh, okay, that's me. That's me. Like, that's who I am now.
Right.
But it was a very weird feeling at the beginning.
Well, look, now that you've kind of took it around the guys, took it to a couple of promotions. How is everybody seeming to respond to it, man? What kind of feedback are you getting on Jabari?
I'm getting some good feedback. Everybody, seems to like it and mess with it and stuff. And like you saying, everybody was saying that it's about time. And just basically, like, I'm still early in my career, still young in my career. So for me to do a name change, it made a big difference. But at the same time, it kind of didn't. Because I'm still to that point of where people are still trying to figure me out, and I'm still, trying to figure myself out.
And
So like
here's the
I'm
thing.
getting
No, go
good
ahead. Go ahead.
feedback.
Go ahead. Well, here's the
Oh, that's all
thing.
I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing. And especially around West Tennessee, these people don't just know you as a wrestler. These people know you personally, most of them. They like
Yeah.
I said, it ain't just the guys in the business, but the fans. They have watched you grow up in and around this business for the last 7, 8 years, whatever, man. And so it's a big change for everybody, dude. But I think it was a smart move, and look, I like it. I ain't even gonna bullshit with you. I really like it. It took a minute to grow on me, but I like it. Look, we got Ray Ivy in here. What's up, Ray? Jamie J's in here. What's up? Jamie J says, you working for him at 100 Wrestling March 14th.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
We got Mark McGee in here. Donnie Martin's in here. You know Sosa's in here. Walker 13.
Yeah.
So look, most of these people know about you, but for the ones who don't, let's kind of take it back. You've been on a couple of times. This is the first time you've really been on by yourself for the full-blown podcast. You done 30 minutes or less. I had you and Ty on as EOG, but now it's Jabari Young. So let's kind of go back a little bit and kind of let these fans know how you got into wrestling business, man. And here's the thing. Your whole family are wrestling fans. I mean, when I first met you, it wasn't just you. It was Big Mama. It was the whole family is there, and they support you. So tell us how you kind of. I know how you got exposed to wrestling. I'm sure it was Big Mama, and but tell us kind of how you got into wrestling and actually got into the business.
So how I got into wrestling was this was like a long time ago. This was when EIW was running down there in New Bern. Was still
Right.
running in New Bern. We had been going, for a long time at this point. But one night, I think, yeah, my grandma, she was talking to I wanna say it was Sarge, or I wanna say you remember Miss Mike Dowell and Miss Pam, right?
Right.
I think they was still running it at that time. And I remember my grandma was either talking to Sarge and them, or I think Galen and them. It was one of them, one of those three, or whatever. And she was like, "I got a surprise for you and your cousins next week." And I'm thinking like, what could the surprise be? Like, so we get to the building around, I think it was like two. Yeah, I want to say like two something. And I just see like he goes by Aaron now. I just see like Aaron, Biscuit, Galen, and Sarge and all of them. I just walk in the building and seeing all these peoples. And this is at the time where like I want to say kayfabe was broke for me. Cause
Right.
like I walked in and I'm seeing all of these heels and baby faces lined up together. I'm like, last week y'all was just beating up on each other. Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing here? And stuff. And they had like a little kids camp or whatever. And that was like my first time ever stepping foot in a ring training. And I think it was the following week after that. We had at this time it was just me and Bud. We had went back up there, and Galen had a talk with us, and he was like, "Okay, y'all grandma was telling me that y'all like wrestling, that y'all really want to be wrestlers when y'all grow up or whatever and stuff like that." And we was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay, so to in order to become a pro wrestler, you have to go through the training and stuff like that." And we was like, "We down for it. Whatever you need us to do, like we here and stuff." And ever since that, we would show up to the building like one or two. Sometimes it'll be like 12, 11 or something like that. We'll show up, we'll clean the building and stuff like that. Make sure all the wrestlers got waters and stuff like that. And we'll do our training. And then after we get done doing all that, we'll go up to Galen and be like, "Can we get in the ring and play now?" And it wouldn't be like you would see most kids just going out there and just playing and doing random stuff. Like we will legit try to put on an actual wrestling match from start to finish. Like we will
Right.
legit try to be doing it, hitting suplexes on each other and all this stuff. Like it was the time of our lives.
Man, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I first seen you, and I seen you guys in the ring, and I didn't realize how young you actually were. But man, I was like, these guys, they must be training them. Like already, I felt like you'd already be training because I seen some of those matches that y'all kind of played out before anybody got in the arena or anything. And that's a good way to break into business, man. I mean, that's kind of from the bottom up. You do whatever you got to do to get your foot in the door, set up, tear down, cleaning, it don't matter, getting the guys' waters. You get that ring time, man. And even then, you were already doing some impressive things in the ring. So who was it that actually started? When did it go from you getting to kind of play in the ring to the guys now starting to take notice and like, we need to really start training this kid here because there's something there?
When it actually really took off was when I had left from EIW and went down to TIWF. Like my first show there ever. I had went down there to just to watch the show or whatever, and at the time Biscuit was there, aka Pops. He was there and stuff, and after the show, then again, shout out to Big Mama, Grandma. She always making the way. She had talked to Biscuit after the show and was telling them about us training down there. Well, let me fast forward this back. There was a birthday party that happened at EIW.
Hold on,
Biscuit had came down.
that would actually be a rewind.
Yeah, rewind. My bad. Rewind. There was a birthday party that happened at EIW. Biscuit had came down and stuff. Galen had told me and Bud to get in the ring, show off our stuff or whatever. And we done that. And Biscuit was like really impressed with it. He talked to Grandma there too, and he was like, y'all should come down to TIWF and stuff like that, watch the show or whatever and stuff like that. So fast forward back to the night that we had first went to TIWF. After the show, Grandma and them talked or whatever. Pops called me over there. He was like, I want you to be here next Saturday, 2 o'clock sharp. Like you finna start training and stuff like that. So showed up there. It was like Pops and I want to say like another trainee and JJ and Keelan and stuff. We was all training and stuff, and I trained there for about, I want to say, for about a good 2 to 3 years, maybe 4. I want to say, or something like that, somewhere around there. Was training there and stuff, and my first match was a tag team match. It was me and Biscuit versus Zach and Chase. It was, to me, for my first time, it was a good match, a banger match. I really just listened because I didn't know
Right.
what I was doing and stuff. And that following Saturday, because that, if I remember correctly, that show was at like the Doodle Soup Festival somewhere. But that following Saturday, I ended up wrestling Alex Cross, and he gave me the beatdown of lifetime.
Alex is one of the most well-rounded guys we have around our area. He's a guy that can brawl, he can fly, he can wrestle on the mat. Alex is
And
kind of a jack of all trades in the wrestling business.
yeah, and that's what people don't like realize about him. Like they'll look at him and they would just assume that he's like this unathletic person that when he get in the ring he just gonna be moving slow like that. No, it's nothing like that. Like if you actually just watch him in the ring, he can actually move and go. Like he is able to pull off stuff that nobody would ever think to imagine a guy his size and stature would be doing. Like
Yeah, he
he
can
is
do it
actually one
all.
of the people that influenced me to like start trying out, some high flying stuff and like actually help me develop a move set. Like at first, I wasn't comfortable with getting on the top rope or doing stuff like that. I just wanted to be on the ground, strictly ground and pound type dude.
Right.
But he was like, he actually believed in me and my athleticism and was like, hey, I feel like if you try this will help you, take that next step.
Right.
And once I tried it, everything just took off.
Look, we got Jeffrey Hall with us. Jeffrey, glad you're with us. Justin Klein's with us, and we're gonna touch on his comment. Mark Aaron Wallace, dude, I tried to put that comment up, but it was covering all of us. But apparently, got a little grievance with the training center at Memphis. You guys can read it in the comments if you want to. Mark McGee's back here too. He's with us. Let's touch on Justin Klein's comment because I was just finna say it. Here's Klein's comment. He said, hopefully his grandma will leave me alone now. The woman is off the chains. And that is absolutely where I was headed. Big Mama gets wild at these wrestling shows, man.
She
Big
does.
Mama is rowdier than the wrestlers a lot of time. So let's touch on that for a minute, man. Touch on having Big Mama out in the audience, especially. There we go, guys. Jabari, can you hear me? Hopefully he'll get clicked back in. Look, his grandma, one of the best wrestling fans I've ever seen, rowdy as can be. She's more rowdy than the wrestlers, but Justin Klein's right, man. She is off the chain. And look, while we're waiting on Jabari, let me pull him down and see if I put him back in. Let me send him a message, y'all. We having technical difficulties. Had a few the last show, too. Let me pull him down and tell him to log back in. There he goes. Hold on. So while we're waiting on him, I will read this comment then from Mark Allen Wallace. He says, the 5-star illusion versus the 1-star reality. Hold on. We got Jabari back.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Okay, let me read this comment.
That was her trying to get a hold of him.
Well, give me just a second. I started reading this comment. Let me read this comment and then we'll pick right up with Big Mama. So the 5-star illusion versus the 1-star reality. Rating a 1-star. They call it the fastest hour in pro wrestling, but my experience at the Wrestle Center was a 6-week lesson in how to burn $750 and a lifetime of passion. If you're looking for the prestige of Memphis wrestling, keep looking. Here is the unfiltered reality of what happens when the cameras aren't rolling. Selling a dream to the unaware. Most of the trainees have never been to another school and have no frame of reference. And look, here's the thing. I've heard a ton of other trainees from the Wrestle Center have exactly the opposite story. I have heard a couple of stories that fall right in line with Mark here, but I feel like you gotta pick and choose, and you gotta find where you fit in too. And you know that too, Jabbar. You kind of gotta find where you fit in this business. But let's pick up with Big Mama. Big Mama, rowdy as the wrestler, sometimes more rowdy than the wrestler. So you've grown up with this lady taking you to wrestling for what, your whole life?
Yep.
So talk to me about that, man. Talk to me about Grandma.
Okay, so my grandma is a very loud person. She's, I guess, what you would call a free spirit. I guess if you want to put it that way. She is the type of person. She is very caring and loving, but don't push her. Like, don't test her, cause she was like switch in a minute. And growing up going to wrestling shows with her, it was just like, in a way, to me, it was like cool to see her like get up in a wrestler's face and just be like that. I guess like the heart of the crowd, because everybody loved her. Everybody knew her. Like, you hear her voice, you already knew something was on. Like, it was about to go down. and stuff like that.
Yes.
So in a way, it was like cool to me to like see my grandma like actually get into it, and just be able to like enjoy herself and have fun. She's like one of the main reasons I loved going to wrestling. Like it, I get that. Like I went to watch the wrestlers do their thing, and all that. But one of the main reasons I mainly went was to like just see my grandma enjoy it and have the time of her life.
Oh yeah,
Like
she's
that's
worth. Hey, she's worth the price of admission alone. Some nights, man, she is entertaining as can be. A lot of times, she's more entertaining than some of the wrestlers are, dude. I love watching Big Mama, man. When Big Mama's at the show, you know it's gonna be rowdy. You know it's gonna be fun. You know something's gonna happen. Uh, so look, you've been wrestling a while now. You've kind of been around. Now, here's the thing: you kind of started in West Tennessee and you stayed there. How many years do you figure you stayed right here in West Tennessee before you decided to kind of branch out? What, 4?
yeah, like 4, 5, something like that. Yeah.
So you get
Um,
used to West Tennessee. You get used to the companies you work for. Then it's time to branch out. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about the first time you ever branched out to another state. Let's say the first time you went to Tennessee or went to Memphis or Arkansas or Mississippi for EPW.
my first time ever going branching out and ever going to, let's do EPW. My first time ever going there, I was in a tag team with Ty, of course, and sorry, my dog just is doing the most. She is like just up. But my first time going to Mississippi, I was tagging with Ty at the time, and he came up to me because like I had no knowledge of EPW, nothing like that. Like I heard about it, but like I didn't know the hype around it. A TV based promotion, nothing like that. I just thought it was like another show, like around our area or whatever. Until Ty had started like putting me on game about the show and stuff like that, and like we started going back, watching some old videos and stuff like that. And I was like, man, this is like a really cool promotion. Like I see what the hype is about it. Like
Right.
I feel like if we went there, it could really take us to that next level and stuff. And so uh, Ty ended up getting in contact with some peoples and stuff. Cause at the time I wasn't really big on social media. Like I didn't get on social media, talk to nobody, post nothing like that. I wasn't really big on that and stuff. And Ty had made some connections and he ended up getting us a spot down there. So we went down there and that's when I found out we were supposed to be working parental advisor. Some of my best friends to this day right now.
One of hey, one of the one of the best feuds around this area for tag team wrestling in a long time. I'm just gonna say it. I think both of you guys, all 4 of you guys, parental advisory and EOG, man, there's still something there. You
Yeah.
guys, I mean, both young. Both. I mean, when I say young, y'all are all right around the same age. Ty is the oldest one of you guys. Uh, the parental advisory boys are young, 18, 19, 20, whatever. You're 18. I think Ty's probably about 26. But man, had some of the best matches I've seen around this area. Really kind of lit tag team wrestling up again around here for me personally, at least.
Yeah, that was one of those things because when we like just got in good with EPW, that they were one of the tag teams that we were constantly going back and forth with. Like each one of us was trying to prove why, people should have their eyes on us, why people should, be paying attention and stuff like that. Like, and I feel like that was what really made us stick out from like everybody else because we were all, like you said, we were all young. We all felt like we had something to prove and something off our chest. And we had in our minds that, okay, it's time for us to make these people pay attention to us. Like, we're to that point where, like, what can we give to them to make them want to, invest in us and make them actually want to pay attention to us and stuff like that. And I feel like once we got that mindset, we locked in and it just took off from there. It took off.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's very seldom that you find two tag teams that are virtually identical in a sense that all young, all hungry, all athletic as hell, all got something to prove, like you said. And let's be honest, I think that's what put you and EOG in general. I mean, EOG on its own was already starting to make some waves before the parental advisory feud kind of came up. But I feel like EOG is kind of what put you guys on the map, you and Ty. So let's talk about that for a second because, man, here recently, I think y'all tagged at Jamie J's last show. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah.
Okay, and I watched it, man. The people love you guys. Whether you're heels or babies, you guys get over. Man, the crowd reaction for you guys was off the charts. So let's talk about that. How did things change from you and Ty kind of being separate or even tagging? Because y'all were actually Black Ink for a little while, the new Black Ink for a little while before y'all came up and developed EOG. But I feel like EOG was where it kind of took off for both of you guys.
How that came about was, like you said, we were like Black Ink for a very, very long time. Like, no matter where I went, you would always see me, Ty, and John. No matter where they went, you would know that the other two was, not far behind or whatever. So it was one of those things where we was like together so much that I guess in a way we kind of started to like blend into each other. Like, it was one of those things where we wanted to like kind of try to stick out on our own because like we knew what we could do when we're together. Like, we knew like how good we were and stuff like that. We just came to the point like, what can we do if we were to go on our own and like not having to depend on each other? Cause like in a tag team, for us in the tag team, it wasn't just one person anymore. It was two people. Like, we like depended on each other. We always kept up with each other. Like, we
Right.
not just in wrestling, but outside of wrestling. Like, we was glued to the hip to each other. And we just wanted to know what it would feel like if we were to go on our separate ways.
Right. Look, we got.
And granted, oh, go ahead.
What? No, I thought you were through. Look, we got Robert Carter Jr. here in Divine Production. If anybody needs custom intro music, give this guy a call. Check out Divine Production. Go ahead, Jabari.
It was just one of those things of like, we just wanted to know that what could we do like without depending on each other. Like, would we still get the same response as if we were still in a tag team? And
Right.
we both came to the agreement of, let's go our separate ways, see what we can do, see if this works out. And if it doesn't, then we always know that we have something to fall back on.
Right. Let me ask you this. How did it feel? Because going from just working, going from starting here in West Tennessee, working shows every Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, but in area you're comfortable at and stuff, you go to EPW, You guys go as a tag team, and EOG kind of was the launching pad for both of you guys. You guys really got noticed. Y'all made waves. It wasn't like that y'all were just a tag team there and that you were just there. No, you guys came in and immediately started making waves, and people started taking notice. So how did that feel when you started getting that feedback from the fans and stuff, and you and Ty realized that, oh shit, there's something here?
When we started getting that feedback from the fans, like you said, it was just the feeling of like, okay, these people like actually believe in us. Like they actually, choosing to believe and see that there's something there. And there will be times where, like outside of wrestling, we'll have, fans come up to us and like just asking for pictures and autographs and stuff like that. And we've like never been in the position to where a fan would come up to us and ask us for an autograph or just, take a picture or something like that. So all of that was new for us. Like we know to like some people that may sound silly or something, like that genuinely opened up our eyes more, and that made us feel like a special type of way, because we were like, okay, these people actually, taking the time out of their day to come see us put on a show for them and perform for them when they could be out there doing anything else in the world, but they chose to come see us.
Right.
And so it was just like a different feeling. It was like something special and something that we just wanted to hold on to for as long as we possibly could.
And
And
it's
it
well, it's got to be scary because here's the thing: rule of thumb in the wrestling business, you catch a little fire and you got something that works. Ride that out as far as you can. Ride that wave as far as you can. And I mean, in my opinion, EOG didn't even remotely crack the surface of what I think you guys could do and could be together. So talk to me about you've already said you and Ty both kind of wanted to prove that you could make it on your own. And I was worried about you guys because y'all really had a ton of momentum. And then all of a sudden, I'm not seeing EOG. I'm seeing JT at the time over here and Ty over here. Y'all are working a lot of singles matches. And in my head, I'm thinking, man, they should have really stayed together because they were getting somewhere. They were really making waves. So talk about the decision within both of y'all, the emotional part of it, because it had to be, was it scary for you to think, man, this thing's working? Do we really want to take a chance right now?
Yeah, it was a little scary at first, but in our mindset, because like we talked about it, a handful of times about what would happen if we were to, split up. So it was one of those things where it was scary, but at the same time, we were kind of like preparing ourselves for the worst, if
Right.
that makes any sense.
So
And yeah, you said what?
well, here's the thing. So did you have any fears of like, and I'm gonna say this right off the bat, y'all have both done great uh separately. I love what Ty's doing, Ty Too Smooth Miller. Uh I love what he's doing. I love what you're doing. And y'all are both still working all the time. You're getting bookings all the time. So it really hadn't hurt your success that way. But man, the step, man, that's a big jump. That's a big jump, Jabari, to because here's what I felt like. I felt like you guys were headed for the EPW tag team titles, is what I felt. Are you there? Let me try to get him back in here, y'all. Jabari, if you can hear me, try to go out and log back in again. Sorry, everybody. We're having technical issues. He froze up as hard as could be right there. Let's go through some of these comments. We got Robert Carter. We got Donnie Martin's in here. It says it makes plenty of sense. James Pierce, Alex Cross, Jabari Young versus Ty Miller. Yeah, that's a hell of a matchup right there, James. Ain't no doubt about that, man. Both of these two young men are off the charts, talented. I mean, I'd like to see that match, man. I'll be honest with you. James is back, and he says he's probably got Spectrum internet. Yeah, he might have Spectrum. Hold on, here he is. All right, we got you back, man.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, here's one thing. Try to set more steel, because I've noticed the more you move, the more it starts freezing up on us. It's just like that sometime. I don't know why. So you guys talk about it. You decide to go, both of you kind of split up, see what you can do on your own. My question, what I was getting at, was there that fear of who's going to be Shawn Michaels and who's going to be Marty Jannetty? Now, it ain't worked out that way. That's what I was getting at. You and Ty both are seeing a lot of success on your own. But was there that fear of, was there that little competition of, I'm going to be better than you?
Yeah. And that's the thing between us. Like, we were always, we was in tag team, but we were always, like, had a little competition between ourselves. It's like, who could do this, or, like, who would be better at this and that. But it wasn't nothing, like, major to, drive a wedge between us. It was more of, like, a friendly competition. And if you ask Ty, he's Shawn Michaels all the way. Like, if you ask him, he's Shawn Michaels all the way. But it's just one of those things of where he's better than me at some aspects, and I'm better than him at some aspects. And we've like both admitted it to each other.
And y'all accentuate each other. That's the thing. You don't need a tag team that are both good at doing the same stuff. You need a tag team who you got one over here does this stuff great, the other one does this stuff great. But when you put them together, you get that whole cohesive picture and that unit where, man, these guys are off the charts, man, and y'all were. Is there any chance we'll see EOG tag in the future? Is it completely out of the question right now, or is there opportunity there?
I'm one of those type of people. I never say never. I mean, right now I feel. Oh, I got the hiccups. Right now I feel like we're both in a good place to where we wouldn't necessarily have to go back to that, but at the same time, I mean, it could wind up happening. Who knows?
Well, that's interesting right there, the way you said that. I mean, is that how you feel about it? Like we would have to go back to that, like it would be almost a demotion, or I mean, because tell me how you feel about that, because just by the way you said it, you act like it would kind of be a slight maybe for y'all to have to go back to teaming up as EOG when y'all are having successes yourself. And I don't think a lot of people see it that way. I'll be honest with you, man. Look, I talk to a lot of people, and all the people in the know, they love EOG. Everybody, they think that EOG is one of the top tag teams around our area. And like I said, you guys in Parental Advisory kind of re-sparked tag team wrestling around this area for me. There's a lot of tag teams, but nobody's putting on those matches that you guys were putting on. I mean, but all four of you guys was out there trying to prove they're better than EOG, and EOG's to prove that they're better than Parental Advisory. And that's when you get that's when magic happens, man. So do you feel like it would be a back step to go back to tagging?
I feel like if we was to do it right now, then yeah, it would kind of be a back step. Cause the way I feel about it, like we were saying earlier, we are better than each other in so many different things. So I feel like right now I'm still like when we were ELG, like we knew who we was as a tag team. But
Right.
I feel like in order for if we were to get back together, in order for that to work and be better than it was last time, we would have to find ourselves individually, then come back and say, be like, okay, now that I know who I am and what my strengths and weaknesses are, and the same goes for him, how can we turn those weaknesses into strengths together? Like, how can we combine everything and make this better than it was last time? If
I
that
agree
makes
with
any
that.
sense.
No, I see that 100%, man. Look, Alex is back, and he says success is what you make it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about success. Jabari Young, you're out here, you're on your own, starting to get a lot of bookings at a lot of different places now by yourself. So let's talk about that, man. Talk to me about some of the places you're going in the near future and some of the things you're going to be doing.
Some of the places I'm gonna be going. Um, I just recently got in touch with a promotion down in Illinois or whatever. It's called if memory serves me correctly, Illinois Valley Wrestling. I think they just opened, like just recently opened back up. If Walker's still in here, maybe he can tell you a little bit more about it. I think he's gonna be at one of their shows or whatever. But yeah, I got a couple dates booked with them down there. Um, just got back in good with EPW. Um, what else?
Obviously, you're going to 100 Wrestling in March.
Yeah, 100 Wrestling. Like I want to say like maybe 2 weeks ago, I just did a show down in Birmingham, Alabama called Rental Pro Wrestling and stuff. And yeah,
Let's talk
that's
about that.
basically mainly where I've been at.
Well, let's talk about that trip to Alabama. Is it the first time you went and worked in Alabama?
Yes.
Talk to me about it. How was it? How was the fans? How was the atmosphere in the dressing room?
That is like totally different from anything that I've ever experienced personally. Like the atmosphere down there, the guys in the locker room. Well, the locker room is not, more whatever. It's not like that different from a locker room down here.
Well, the main difference is
It's
down here.
just
You know everybody, and everybody pretty much knows you. But you go into that
yeah.
strange locker room. How was that for you? How did the guys accept you?
Like the guys, they accepted me pretty well. I went down there with Aaron. It was pretty good. Everybody welcomed me with open arms. Of course, you had those people that who thought that they were better than everybody else, or then you had those people that who strictly there for business and nothing else. But outside of that, the locker room, it was like, pretty cool. It was pretty straight. It was a fun experience or whatever. I got the chance to, meet some new people. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's the number 6 power smacker or slapper in the world.
You go
And
get in. You
that
go
was
get
really,
into the power slap, man.
oh no, no, no. Can't do that. But the fans down there, they're a very, very rowdy bunch. I can give them that. They know how to keep everything going. Like they literally, I can't even say that word, but they pop off the smallest things. And to me, that was like, it was gonna be, to me, it was like, this is gonna be like sort of an easy night. But at the same time, I got to learn like their different reactions.
Right.
Like, yeah, they will pop off of the smallest things, but it was like a difference in tone with the pop. Like you could do something and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," versus you do this and they're like, "Oh my god," like and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, like they stay into it, but you gotta just like really peep the difference in between, like what really gets them versus what just keeps them entertained. If that makes
And
any sense.
and here's the thing: different fans in different places and different companies are educated differently. Every company kind of educates their fans to their product. So that means everywhere you go, the fans are, even though they're basically the same, they got little nuances that are different over here than they are over here. The things that work here might not work as good over here. If it's all about, if it's a more entertainment based promotion, then their fans are educated to like the entertainment more. If it's a more athletic based promotion, then those fans are going to pop more when you get in the ring and actually wrestle around. You're going to get different reactions, but that's what you need to do. And look, Alex is on here and he says Mark Southern is one of the best promoters around when it comes to traveling talent. Get your Missouri license. Alex beat me to this. I was going to tell you, you need to get Missouri license, man. You would
Yeah,
enjoy
that's
going to
something I
Missouri
got in
and
the
working.
works.
You need to, man. I'll say this: Missouri is one of the strictest states on licensing. But man, you get there, you get your license, you get your physical, you dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and Mark's a great guy to work for, man. You'll make your license back pretty fast. Let me just say that. You'll definitely make that licensing fee back fast. So look, man, let's start around this area. Who does Jabari Young? Give me your top 3 matchups of anybody around our area right now.
Like people who I would want to face, or
Yes, people who you want to step in the ring with.
okay, so number one, this has like kinda already happened, but it was more of a 2-on-1 situation. Is Marco Harris. The last time, one of the official times I got to step in the ring with him, it was myself and Seven Cruz from Memphis Wrestling.
Right.
It was us in a 2-on-1 situation against Marco. 7-1 really, he was doing the most. Let's just put it that way. He was doing the most. He wasn't keeping up his end of the deal in the bargain. So Marco ended up getting the best of us in that situation. But I would love to, just get a one-on-one match with him. No TV time, nothing, like a legit actual one-on-one match. I feel like that would be another way of proving myself and, showing that I can hang with who people think are the best. Well, to me, he is one of the best. That to me shows that I can hang. Um, Another one is, let's see, because it's like so many good people around here. Walker, that just thought of him. He's one of those people that I want to step in there with too. Then again, it was me and him and I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. But I got the chance to work him in a triple threat match, but he's one of those people that I actually want to get a 1-on-1 in with. And
The
third,
thing, well, the thing about Walker, he's character driven, and I know
yeah.
here's the thing: you are athletic, more athletic driven in the ring. Walker's character driven. Talk.
And that's one of those things I want to try to like test myself in.
How do you think a matchup like that would play out? Because Walker's a big guy too. Walker's a big giant guy. He's highly character driven. So this match is going to be different than you facing Marco. Marco's a highlight reel. They call
Yeah.
him Mr. Energy for a reason, and he's a highlight reel. So when you step in there with Marco, you're going to test your athleticism. You're going to find out if your cardio's where it needs to be. Can you hang with Marco in the ring? When you step in with Walker, you're stepping in against a monster. So now it's character driven. you got this big giant mountain that you got to try to chop down. You got to try to figure out how to get this monster down, lay this monster to rest, man. So talk to me about that for a second, man, because that's a different dynamic than what you're normally used to.
How I think that will play out. I feel like going into the match, I don't think I would have a game plan at all. Cause like for me seeing Walker and how he moves and stuff like that, you can't necessarily just go in there with a plan because you could be thinking, oh, this is going to go this way, or you got your mindset to doing this. And the moment you actually step in there with him and get to going, you like, none of this is going to work against this guy. Like, from me being in there in that triple threat with him, I had a good solid game plan of like, okay, take out this man legs or something like that, But he's one of those characters that keep you on your toes. Like you have to be able to expect the unexpected with him. Cause one minute you may think, oh, he's just slow moving and stuff like that, and out of nowhere you see a flying elbow coming at you, and you like, where did that come from? So I don't think I would really just have a solid game plan with him. I think I would just have to just go, on the fly with that.
And
Like
Walker,
if I
well, the
go
pacing's
ahead,
gonna be different with Walker. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You know what you're gonna do when you're in there with Marco. You know what you're getting. It's athleticism. Whoever's the best athlete, the best wrestler, got the best cardio. There's the match. With Walker, it's a little bit different. His pacing is different. He wrestles at a different pace, and I think it'd be good to you. And Alex is back, and he says Colton Cage versus Jabari, Damian Wayne versus Jabari, JPJ versus Jabari. Killer matches. He says he comes right here and says it. Killer matches. I agree. You heard those match up. So kind of touch on that a little bit, and then give us your third, man.
Colton Jabari versus Colton Cage. I feel like that'll be a straight banger too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with you on that one.
I do too. I like that matchup.
Yeah, like with him, I feel like that'll be something special, something very special. But
Damian Wayne, that's going to be a test. That's going to be a learning experience. You're going to get in there and you're
yeah,
going to
that's
learn
I
something
was
out of
just
that
gonna
match.
say that. Like that's he is actually one of like my bucket list opponents. I want to step in there with him to not only use that as a learning experience, but also like be able to test myself and see if I can hang with like one of the OG toughest veterans out there. Like I did a couple years ago, I did a seminar with him, and like just in that seminar, I learned a lot. He talked about like the smallest things you could do, like when you punch, don't just like be dry with it. Like have
Right.
some animation to it, cause like and stuff like that. And I feel like that would be like a great learning experience and a way to test myself and see how tough I actually am. Like
Talking
how
about
much of a beating that I could take.
talking about it tough, man. JPJ. That's another monster of a guy. He's not as tall as Walker 13, but JPJ, one of the top guys around right now. He's the current UWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I
Talk to
think
me about the matchup with
JPJ.
JPJ, man.
I think JPJ already know how I'm coming. That matchup has already happened, and I think JPJ knows about Jabari. I think he's got that in his mind that I'm not someone to take lightly. Yeah, we've had a one-on-one match already. He got the victory, but ask him what happened after the matchup. That's all I got to say about that.
So now give us your third guy around our area, your third dream match around our area, man. Who is it?
My third dreamer match, I would have to say Aaron Roberts. Well, I really got four, but let's just
Well,
go
you
with the third.
well, you can tell us both of them.
My
Third,
other two
Aaron.
dream matches would be Zay Washington and Aaron Roberts. Those are two guys that are both my mentors, and they both actually put me on game of like they taught me the business aspect of professional wrestling.
Right.
And like Dave, have taught me about, character work and developing my mic skills and stuff like that. Back when they had their, training school or whatever, I was there every chance that I got. And they actually like legit put you through a hard workout and try to help you find and develop that character and see who you really are and what you really could bring to the table. So with that, I feel like if I ever got the chance to step foot in there with them, I could show them that their teachings didn't go to waste. That's
And
how I
Aaron's kind of like Walker in a sense that he's highly character driven, but his style in the ring's different than Walker. Aaron's got a more smash mouth style, come straight forward at you, no let up in the ring. And you faced off against Aaron at times. I seen a match between when you and Ty were EOG against Aaron and Cordell at the TIWF building, man, went all over the arena. One of the better tag team matches I have seen in a long time. Killer ass match. So you kind of know what it's like to be in there with Aaron and Zay. Zay's kind of like a more experienced, more grounded version of Marco Harris, because Zay can do it all too. Zay can work on the mat and Zay can fly. He's got good cardio. So I love the idea of that matchup, man.
Yeah, and I feel like me going off one on one against them now, I feel like that would be better than me going, one on one against them way back then. Cause I feel like not only when they had the training school were they, teaching us and helping us to develop ourselves and, find who we are, but I feel like in a way it was kind of also a lesson or a teachable moment for them too. I feel like we were all kind of, helping each other in a way. And I
Right.
feel like now they're like to the point where they found themselves because of them trying to help others and stuff. It also, helped them find themselves. So I feel like now would be better than if we was to like have done it way back then, if that makes sense.
Well, you got more experience now and you got more confidence. That, I
Yeah.
mean, we can all see that your confidence level is way higher than it was even a couple of years ago. Now I think you're kind of aware of the business, how it works, and you're aware of your talent too. Like I said, I always say I don't think you know how good you are, but I think you know you're good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think you've got the
Yeah.
confidence to that. So look, we're fixing to start winding down. I only got a couple of more questions. WWE, AEW, pick the one guy, one dream match. If it's anybody, one of the biggest stars in the world, who is it that you want to see Jabari Young step in the ring with? Who would be your guy?
So the one guy from WWE, I would have to go with Javon Evans.
I knew you was gonna say that. I was thinking the same thing. I thought
It
that's
was
a hell of
between him or Obafemi. One of those two.
that is two majorly contrast matchup styles right there. But I was
Mm.
thinking Javon myself, man. He's like the new Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his own style. He's got charisma. I can see why he is already to where he is, man. Some guys are just unique, and you can't create that kind of uniqueness. And I feel like Javon's that dude. I feel like he's got a uniqueness about him that you just can't manufacture that. It's natural.
It's just there.
So That's also another match. That's Marco Harris. That's another highlight reel kind of opponent. Oba Femi. Now, this is a monster. Now, Oba could just literally conk you on your head, man. So how is this match playing out with Oba Femi, dude? You run it a lot. You run it a lot, right? Stick and move.
Yeah, that's just like one of those things I want to like test my middle, like see how tough I am. Cause like me personally, I enjoy, a good snug and good stiffness. I like me personally, I enjoy that. Like so being in there with Oba, I feel like not only would I have to be able to test my agility, but also test and see if I can take a beating, but how good and able am I to give a beating?
That's a lot of man to be beaten on there, Jabari, man. I mean, you might as well, you might have to take a step ladder with you, dude. That's a big bad dude right there. We seen him and Brock kind of have a little thing in the Rumble, man.
Yeah.
I think that's a big match people are interested in out there. I feel like there's very few guys people look at Brock and think he'd give Brock a run for his money, but I think he's one of the guys that
Most
everybody
definitely.
wants to see. So look,
Yeah.
over the next year or so, man, where do you want to see yourself over the next year, man? You've just started this new thing. Where do you want to see it be this time next year, man?
This time next year, I would like to see myself signed to a promotion somewhere. Like at one point, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm just to go ahead and throw it out there. At one point, I had something in the works with the NWA, but plans kind of fell through or whatever. It wasn't nothing, like too major, but it was like a foot in the door.
An opportunity, yeah,
So
man.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully, that maybe picks up somewhere along the line, or maybe I just get that big break I've been looking for and get the chance to venture down to NXT or something like that. I just want to be signed somewhere in the place that I do end up landing. I'm gonna let them know that Jabari is here, and y'all better watch out.
So you get that phone rings, and it's whoever from NXT, Shawn Michaels, whoever's calling and signing talent for NXT. I mean, that's a big commitment, man. And I have people on here all the time, and I ask them the same question. You get that call, are you going, or are you one of these guys that are comfortable where you at? You're young. I mean,
Oh, I'm
you don't
going.
have, it ain't like you might have a shoot job, but you ain't got a career or nothing. You ain't really got a lot that's super holding you here. So if that phone rang and it was Shawn Michaels, man, I seen a tape of you.
How
I
fast
love
you
you.
want me there?
That's what I'm
How
talking
fast you
about
want me
right
there?
there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the attitude I feel like every young wrestler that gets in the business should have right there. That should be your goal, is to make it to the tip top of the business if you can.
Yeah, and I'm the type of person like I feel, and I know that there's like nothing like just majorly bigger than WWE, but I feel like if I make it to, not if, but when I make it to the WWE, I feel like there's just something like there's gonna be bigger than that, and it's just waiting on me to get there. Cause like you said, evolving, like nothing never stops evolving. You always have to evolve and better progress, and like just get your craft and your product out there more, like just evolve it. So I feel like by the time I make it to the WWE, I feel like there's either gonna be something bigger and better out there waiting for me, or WWE, I can't even speak. WWE is just going to be to that point where they have already evolved and became one of, like, and the only biggest promotion in the world.
Right. So
That's just how
before we
I look at it.
so right quick before we get out of here, give me your dream match of AEW, guys. If you could face one guy in AEW, who's your matchup, man?
One guy in AEW. Let's see. It's a lot of good people over there.
A lot of interesting matchup, man. I'm playing them through my
Yeah.
head right now, dude.
If I was to say, I would have to either go with Swerve Strickland or Will Ospreay.
I like
One of
both of
those
those
two.
matches.
Maybe
I'll be
you
honest
can
with you.
mix. I also say maybe you can mix in a little bit, Kenny Omega and some Hangman Adam Page or something like that. But
I like both those matchups, man. Swerve, obviously, that's a whole nother level, but that's one of those Marco Harris matches. Osprey is a highlight reel guy. Swerve, I really love the matchup with Swerve because Swerve has evolved a lot since his WWE days.
mhm,
He's put on a lot of size too, a lot of muscle.
yeah.
Swerve's a big ass guy now. He's a hard hitting physical. He's physical in the ring. I like that matchup, man.
And that's the thing. I admire him so much because if you really just pay attention to him, like his in ring style has like changed and evolved so much. Because when he first started out, he was like more on, like you said, the high flying, highlight reel side. And he was, basically in the air and stuff. But if you pay attention to him now, he's more of like he moves kind of like a big man almost. Like he's very mostly on the ground and stuff like that. Maybe he'll pull out some high flying stuff here and there, but he's mostly like on the ground and moves with a purpose. Like
yeah,
everything he
he's
do is like a calibrated. It's calibrated. He moves with a purpose.
yeah. I felt like he was a mid card guy in WWE, and I feel like he went to AEW, worked on his body, got so much bigger, worked on his style, and I feel like he's a main event guy.
Yeah.
Now, Swerve's one of those guys now, if he ever does go back to WWE, he won't go back to NXT. He'll
Hmm.
be a main player on one of the main rosters, SmackDown, Raw. He won't go back to NXT, man. He's evolved past that. Uh, and just I like Swerve's character. I like his persona, man. I like a lot about him. So look, man, you got a lot of stuff coming up. Tell these promoters, these fans, any promoters out there, how they can get in touch with Jabari Young, man. You got social media, whatever, dude.
Yeah, okay. You can get in touch with me on my Facebook, Jabari Young. My Instagram. Well, my TikTok is D1 crash out underscore Jabari1. Um, Instagram, like I said, I don't really be on that as much, so I couldn't even tell you that off the rip. But yeah, you can catch me if you can find my Instagram. I can't tell you the name off the top of my head, but
If you
yeah,
can't find it, we can't find it, man.
it's like one of those things. Like I'm not on it as much as I should be. Like to promote myself and push myself out there. Instagram, I've like just never been a big fan of it, but I'm trying to gravitate towards it more. But I'm mainly on TikTok or Facebook or something like that. Those are the main two pages you can catch me on.
Dude, it has been my pleasure. We'll get you back in 8-9 months, a year, and get an update. We'll see where Jabari Young is a year from now, dude. If you're still here, maybe you'll be done got that call from Shawn Michaels, and you'll be too big
Let's
to
hope so.
answer my messages. You won't have time to come on Buster Unmasked in, man. Dude, I hope that's the case, man. I wish you all the success in the world, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a great night, dude.
You too.
All right, y'all, you seen it right there. Jabari Young, one of the most talented young guys around our area. No doubt about it. If you see his name on the marquee anywhere, go check him out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, everybody who interacted. Justin Klein, you always stirring shit. Yeah, I seen your message, man. We talked about Big Mama. I hope she kicks your ass next time she sees you. That'd highlight my whole day. We'll be back Monday night. It's all about Legacy Pro Wrestling. They're returning to New Bern, Tennessee. I want to say it's February 20th. Surely I'm right about that. If I'm not, I'm sorry. I got a lot of dates in my head, but Monday night, 7 p.m., I'll have Chris Rocker on here and Big Aaron Roberts. You don't want to miss it. Until then, y'all take it easy.
When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air? Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked. Lord! Oh! Lord! There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting